So I was watching an anime, and this anime is on YouTube. It's a comedy where this woman does everything in her power to avoid romance, and this wizard comes into her life, and the wizard takes the woman's three most treasured items, her three most desires: her cat, her chocolate, and her video games. She don't care nothing about nothing after that, right? But this one particular episode I watched reminded me of a lesson that first came into my life last year about femininity, but in regards to my own perspective about femininity and being a woman. So what scene was this? So this was a flashback moment where one of her old friends was really popular because of her body, and the girls would compare themselves to her, and then guys would ask her out, things of that nature. One of them actually was creepy about it, and that scene where the women or the girls were comparing themselves to her, and then in her mind she said, oh, I wish I was average, while they were saying, oh, I wish I had her body. It just reminded me of how we compare ourselves as women to each other all the time. I mean, it's the human thing. Men do it too, right? But I feel like not to the extent that we do as women. We're more feisty. We're more catty about it. We're more cutthroat about it, right? But this also reminded me of this truth about us as women, the species of women. We are all flowers. We exist in the Garden of Eden already. We're already here. But because either some of us are on our individual ascension journeys and some of us are asleep. But regardless, we're all flowers. Different flowers. One woman may be a sunflower, another one may be a tulip, one may be a rose, one may be dragon's breath. All the flowers, all of us are different, but we tend to compare ourselves to the next. Now, what I've learned from another creator, she said that competition and comparison is a natural thing that we do as humans. It's in our species to do so, but it's of our lower nature. And I feel like comparison and competition, I feel only people that have ascended understands how to operate in friendly competition and know how to use comparison in a productive and enlightening way. Those of us who are still ascending may still deal with our own insecurities and can't necessarily partake in friendly competition or healthy comparison in a certain way. And so we pick off our own petals every time we look at a different woman and we say, oh, I wish I looked like her. I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. It's either that language or we spew hatred and negativity, because it's I don't know how to describe it. It's like acid reflux. When there's too much acid, It sits at the top of your esophagus and it hurts. It burns. You lay down and it comes up through your esophagus, up into your throat. And if that happens too long, you get ulcers, I think, or something happens. But regardless, something happens. And that's kind of like how it is when women are not aware of themselves or refuse to look at themselves in the mirror about their own insecurities and be honest about them. Right? We're all flowers, and each of us has a individualized and unique beauty about oneself that someone else can't hold a candle to. But then they have their own beauty that you can't hold a candle to, and you gotta be okay with that, because that's life. Someone is always gonna look better than you. Someone is always going to have more money than you. Somebody's always going to have a bigger butt than you. Someone is always going to have the attention of the dudes that you wish you had. But let me tell you something about that. That's not all it's cracked up to be. I was literally like that until I had to really be honest about the state of the world right now. And then being upset that certain women get attention from men. First of all, men are draining and naturally parasitic. Why in the hell would I want their attention in the first place? Y'all are draining, right? Draining as hell. Some women don't even like getting attention from men. And some do. But that's neither here nor there, right? But this also brings me back to a video I believe I posted a while ago about Marilyn Monroe, Whitney Houston, and Nicole Smith, women of their stature or of their energy. I believe that they traded their inner world because they forgot their power. They forgot that they have power or had power of choice. And they had the opportunity or the choice to be okay with where they were, or again exchange their sanity for a life of fame. And it frustrates me when the world, for some reason, it seems to me that we only pay attention to the legacy that Marilyn in particular left behind, because to us, to society, she was a X symbol or sex symbol when it comes down to her mannerisms, how graceful she was. Granted, her body car, which is what you see, her style, her hair, her makeup, the way she carried herself, yes, that's apparent. And us as the human race, how we operate, society at large, and in general, we value what we see a lot. That's just the way. But what tends to jack us up is that we neglect what goes on in our hearts. And when we neglect what goes on in our hearts, falls apart. We forget that everything is connected. You forget that you're made of dirt. You forget that you're made of the very things that exist outside of this atmosphere. You're made of stardust, my love. You're made of the very things that holds what we know as the universe together. You're made of those things. But we pay too much attention to what we see. And I'm saying this because this is a learning curve for me. Because I had to use my senses to survive, as we all do, but I'm talking about trauma. I had to dictate. I had to assume what was happening in my environment because no one knew how to communicate. And so I, as a baby, had to control my world through my senses. And so now I have to grow out of that. There is more to this universe than what you see. You have a heart, you have feelings. And sorry to break it to you, your life is how it is because of your subconscious mind. This universe is naturally feminine. Yes, it's made out of masculine energy too. But your decisions, how you process things, all of that is of your subconscious mind, which is feminine. 90% of your unconscious is subconscious, or however the hell that goes. Regardless, 90%. Only 5% is conscious. There is more to life than what you see. There is more to life than what you can taste, smell, see, hear, taste. The five senses. There is a sixth sense. Your intuition, how you feel, your feelings. Marilyn Monroe, all of the big figures, the legendary figures that we love to talk about today, neglected their inner world for the sake of the 3D reality as we know it. They made decisions to, yes, chase after their career, to do what they loved, yes. And they still had emotional and psychological issues that were not addressed, which caused their demise. Because they wanted to escape from whatever was going on in their minds. They made questionable decisions off of their subconscious. But we love to glorify their looks, their style, their talent. But as I always say, we forget their hearts. We forget their pain. We forget that they traded all of that for a career in music, for a career in acting, to look better, to look better. This goes back to when I opened up about the anime. Them girls in high school, middle school, whatever school they were in, compared themselves to a girl that also had her own likes and dislikes about her body. Mostly dislikes, because she got bad attention. But them girls ain't think of it that deep. And then she met somebody that understood her human, her heart. Not, oh, you should be grateful for the body you got. You should be grateful. But the thing is, it feels like the better thing to say to someone. Oh, you should be grateful that you have such and such. There's people out in the world that don't have that. But you forget that they also struggle too with whatever you're saying that they should be grateful for. Whether that's a lot of money, whether that's a loving family, whether that's whatever you believe they should be grateful for. There's pros and cons to everything. There's two sides to every story. There's black and white, dark and light. Don't forget that. This girl found a friend that understood her struggle in having a certain body, and she helped her find a solution. She understood her past what other people saw. She looked at her human. And that's something else I want to talk to y'all about. Now, this goes into spirituality and religion. Y'all paying these prophets, y'all paying these pastors, y'all paying these readers, y'all paying these psychic mediums, and forgetting that they are people. They're not just vessels. They are people. Y'all pay them because you're intrigued. You pay them because you don't know God for yourself. And I'm here with you because I am also rebuilding my own relationship with God here. But y'all keep going to these people without seeking your own guidance, without seeking your own answers. And I'm here with you because I was that person. Recently, not even years ago, recently, needing external validation. And sometimes I may still fall into that. But you're not alone. I'm not preaching at you. I'm not talking down to you. I'm next to you. I'm equal to you. I'm not beneath you. I'm not above you. I'm not bigger than you. I'm not superior. I'm not inferior. I'm here with you. Because I used to do that until my teacher whipped me into shape. And something else that I noticed about myself, I would listen to other people. I would listen to the external voices when I knew what I needed to do for myself. But I ignored how I felt on the inside. And listened to the outside because I thought that the outside knew me better than I knew me. Just for me to shoot myself in the foot at the end of the day. Why did I listen to so-and-so? Girl, that's your fault. Your fault. Because you knew. You knew already what you needed to do. But you don't trust yourself. But when I look back, I'm okay with it. Because I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't recognize this truth now. This scarf just keeps falling off. Jeez. But I wouldn't recognize what I'm recognizing now. It would be easy to self-loathe and hate myself for past choices and decisions. But from a higher perspective, from the highest perspective, I had to make those choices for me to learn right now that my own inner voice matters more. My inner compass matters more than the outside world, because the outside world is unsustainable. The outside extra voice is unsustainable. This is another lesson that actually played out in my real life. I was frustrated because I had an appointment, and I always leave my house 2 hours in advance because I don't like being late for nothing. I'm a punctual person. And I left my house early on purpose because I know where I live. And I needed time. But because of where I live, transportation is ass at some times, at some days, right? And I'm texting my family, I'm venting, I'm pissed off.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
I'm aware, thank you. But I'm texting her, I'm pissed off, and I get mad at her because she says, don't be frustrated. You're on your way now, that's all that matters. First of all, I have two things to say about that. From one perspective, I understand why people now are turning to AI, because unfortunately AI has been programmed to know how to hold space for people. As humans, we have to really learn how to be empathetic in our communication. Everybody's talking about stop going to AI for therapy when AI gives a satisfaction, but that satisfaction is synthetic because it's not coming from a real person. But I see both sides. A lot of us don't know how to hold space. At the same time, again, AI is synthetic. And so what I had to do in that situation when I was frustrated, I stopped texting and I turned within. And I said to myself, I understand why I'm frustrated. I get why I'm frustrated. And guess what? Whatever was frustrating me, whatever was constricting my heart, lifted. I promise you. You gotta verify yourself. I know why I'm frustrated. I know why I'm angry, and I have every right to be. And once you verify yourself, once you validate yourself, once you turn to yourself and say, yes, I get it, all other perspectives you'll be able to absorb easier. Then I was able to say, but you know what? I get what she's saying. I am on my way right now. And if I would have waited for that transportation that I was initially waiting for, I would have been late and I would have been pissed. So I'm happy I got this car like they told me to do. But I'm telling you, you won't be able to view anything from the highest perspective if you don't validate yourself first. Because you know you better than anybody does. You know you. And people will tell you that they know you until they blue in the face. No, they don't. And you know what? I'm still integrating with that truth. I'm still integrating with it. Because even though people say they know me, no, you don't. There's such a treasure trove of ideas, of all sorts of things. I'm so complex. You don't know me. You're not like me. I am one of one. I am unique. You are unique. You are one of one. Alright, that's all I'm going to say for right now. I'm done ranting. Peace.